If you've ever been yanked out of dead sleep by your child's cry, clutching their ear, burning up with fever, you know the desperation that hits. The pacing, the tears, the late night Google searches. Another sleepless night turns into another trip to the pediatrician, only to hear the same thing. It's another ear infection. Here's another round of antibiotics. And just like that, you're back on the merry-go-round. Short-term relief followed by yet another infection. Then comes the whispers about tubes, maybe surgery. And suddenly, what felt like a small problem now feels overwhelming with no clear, comfortable path forward. But here's what most parents don't realize. 5 out of 6 kids will experience at least one ear infection before the age of 3. And for many families, it doesn't stop at just one. It becomes chronic. It starts affecting sleep, speech, development. Your child's immune system just can't catch a break. This video is for parents who are stuck in that exhausting loop. If you've tried antibiotics, you've seen the ENT, and you still feel like you're spinning your wheels, this is for you. We're going to talk about a root cause that almost never mentioned in the pediatrician's office. How the nervous system stress and subluxation can set the stage for repeated infections. Now stick with me because we're going to unpack why this happens, what it means for your child's long-term health, and then how neurologically focused chiropractic care can help you finally break the cycle naturally, gently, and without surgery or more medication. When it comes to chronic ear infections, most people are told it's all about anatomy, tiny ear canals or immature drainage systems. And while that definitely plays a role, it doesn't explain everything. Because if structure alone were to blame, then why do some kids have infection after infection while others glide through cold and flu season without so much as an earache? Here's what most pediatricians don't tell you. The nervous system has a very powerful influence on ear drainage, immune strength, and inflammation. When there's misalignment in the neurospinal system, what we call a subluxation, it interferes with the brain-body connection that manages those exact processes. Now, the vagus nerve, which helps regulate fluid drainage in the ear, can also become disrupted. So can the nerves that affect muscle tone around the eustachian tubes and those that coordinate the immune defense. This kind of neurological interference creates what we call the triple threat. So poor drainage, lowered immune function, and increased inflammation. And when all that is going on under the surface, it's easy to see how kids can get stuck in this frustrating cycle of recurring infections that just don't seem to let up, no matter how many medications they try. Chronic ear infections are usually part of a bigger issue known as the perfect storm. So this is a mix of physical, chemical, and emotional stressors. It often begins with birth intervention, so things like C-sections, forceps, vacuum delivery, because they cause upper neck and cranial tension. That early stress builds over time through falls, toxins, emotional strain, and antibiotic overuse, all which weaken the immune system. If the root causes aren't addressed, kids then get stuck in a cycle where each infection leads to another. As children grow, more stress just is added to the mix. Think about all the bumps and the falls that come with learning to walk. The constant exposure to environmental toxins, the emotional stressors that come from daily life, and then the overuse of antibiotics that can strip away healthy gut bacteria. Every one of these stressors weakens the immune system further. Now, over time, these children become less resilient and more reactive, so that with each cold or sniffle, they become triggered to yet another ear infection. Unless we step in and address the underlying stress within the nervous system, kids often remain stuck in this cycle, and then the storm just keeps building. When your child is in pain, you want to do whatever it takes to help them feel better fast. That's why so many families end up with round after round of antibiotics. It feels like the right thing to do, but here's what you may not know. Nearly 1 out of every 4 antibiotic prescriptions for children is written for an ear infection, even though most of these infections are actually viral in nature. And when an antibiotic is used to treat something that isn't bacterial, not only is it ineffective, it can actually make things worse. Antibiotics don't just target the bad bacteria, they also wipe out the good bacteria that are essential for immune and gut health. On top of that, none of these medications address the nervous system stress that's interfering with the drainage and the immunity in the first place. Now, surgical interventions like ear tubes might seem like the next logical step. They're designed to help fluid drain better from the middle ear. But again, if the nervous system is still stuck in stress mode and subluxations are still present, the core dysfunction hasn't changed. Tubes might help for a while, but the symptoms usually come back, sometimes as more infections, sometimes as digestive challenges, or even developmental delays. That's where our care comes in. So at E320 Chiropractic, we take a completely different approach, one that doesn't just manage symptoms, but actually works to restore function where it matters most, the nervous system. We begin with a deep look at how your child's nervous system is functioning using our Insight Scan technology. Now, these scans help us to see exactly where the stress and subluxations are interfering with communication between the brain and the body. And once we identify those areas, we use gentle, specific adjustments to release tension in the upper portion of the neck and the cranial area, where so many of these problems begin. By restoring proper motion and reducing neurological interference, we can help your child's body do what it was designed to do: drain fluid more effectively, mount a stronger immune response, reduce inflammation, and bounce back from illness without constantly relying on medications or surgery. It's a natural drug-free solution that doesn't just chase symptoms, it supports long-term healing from the inside out. You deserve more than just short-term fixes and sleepless nights. You deserve to feel confident that your child's body was designed to heal and that it absolutely can. You deserve quiet evenings without the worry that another ear infection is just around the corner. And most of all, your child deserves to grow, to play, and to thrive without the constant disruption of pain, antibiotics, or surgery. At E320 Chiropractic, we have had the honor of helping so many families break out of the chronic ear infection cycle naturally and gently by addressing what's actually causing the issue in the first place. Our neurologically focused approach begins with the Insight scans that show us exactly how your child's nervous system is functioning. From there, we then create a care plan that supports the body's ability to drain, fight, and bounce back, just like it was meant to. What we see time and time again goes far beyond just fewer infections. Parents report deeper sleep, stronger immune function, better behavior, and a calmer, more resilient child overall. When the nervous system starts working the way it's supposed to, everything changes. If you're ready for a new approach, we would love to meet you. Click the link in our bio to schedule your child's assessment or give us a call. We're here to help your family find real, lasting relief.